You are not imagining it. People have gotten worse, and especially since 2020. How did this happen? Why did this happen? And here's the scary part. I thought it was just me, in my local area, my friends and family, my community, in London, in the UK, but no, I was wrong. This is a global problem. And I'll also be giving you tips and tricks in how to manage your expectations and your boundaries better with so-called people who have gotten so much worse. And if you want to build your confidence, your boundaries in a no bullshit, direct, say it as it is manner, then let me help you. Book a free discovery call with me. The link's in the description down below. And if we're a good fit, let's work together. So, this has been on everybody's mind, especially those like you who are very self-aware, do the work on themselves, subscribe to this channel, don't fall for the bullshit, see the truth. Something's not felt right. The world's not felt right. We don't feel the way we used to. We don't get as excited as we used to about certain things. We don't have the same relationships anymore. World shifted. Well, that's going to definitely happen when you've got a pandemic, lockdowns, these wars going on, governments being exposed and so on. That was beyond our control. But what about in our own worlds, in our own lives, the people we see and speak to every single day? What the hell happened? Well, I remember the lockdown from my personal experience like this. So for me, I just walked away a few months earlier from a toxic relationship. And I said to myself, this is going to be my year, 2020. I'm going to turn it all around. I'm going to bounce back. And I started my journey on YouTube as well. Then, obviously, things were shutting down and locking down in the UK. And I isolated like everybody else. And then, to make matters worse, my dad, who was a fit 62-year-old man, got very ill, very quickly, came out of nowhere. Within weeks, he was dead. So not only was I grieving a breakup, not only was I isolated and alone, but my dad just died, and I couldn't say goodbye to him. In those early weeks of the lockdown is when he passed away, so I didn't even have time to process what the hell was going on in the world, let alone what was going on with my dad. So it threw me for a loop. It confused me. And it completely broke my heart. But here's the thing. I monitored people and saw people around that time. And for like a few days or a week, the roads were quiet. People were friendlier. People were compliant. We were all in this together at the time, which didn't last long. Because that's when the shift happened. With the impatience of people, with the aggravation and annoyance of everyone, going through whatever they were going through, losing their jobs, losing their businesses, being isolated at home for way too long, overeating, whatever it was. We'd all become frustrated. But the key thing here is the toxic people, the narcissists, the selfish ones, the sociopaths, the evil ones lurking in the shadows. The lockdowns and that time, that specific year, that moment, exposed them for what they truly were. If we were going about our day-to-day lives like in 2019 and beforehand, we would have had inklings and feelings and the odd falling out as a result. But no, 2020 ramped it up to 11 and exposed these people and made their masks fall so bloody hard and quickly that we had no choice but to face the truth. Now, a lot of people buried their heads in the sand, and I'm not talking about politics or anything, just about people at the time, excusing their behavior, getting walked all over, getting the piss taken out of them, and so on and so forth. But I had no tolerance for it at the time. I made a solemn vow to never return to that toxic relationship or person, so I blocked and deleted them. After my dad died and I couldn't say goodbye, I said, I'm going to live my life a very, very different way now. Because here's the thing, I am not going to have the same mistakes, the same people screw me over. And around the time that he died, again, all in 2020, easily one of the worst years of my life. Family started causing problems. Immediate family. Drama, arguments, disrespect, betrayal like you wouldn't believe. And then friends started bubbling up from the surface when I thought they would be quite supportive, respectful, especially of my dad. People who actually knew him, spoke to him, and he helped them out in many ways. They started crossing a line. They started being disrespectful, and they didn't give a shit. I didn't want to play the victim. I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I just wanted people to understand, just a small iota, the hell I was going through. But they didn't care. And that's the thing. And then as the weeks and the months and now the years have compounded, that lack of empathy, that lack of respect is now fully out of control. And it's not an age thing. It's not a race thing. Please do not put any racist comments in the comment section below, because you will get blocked and deleted. Trust me, and reported as well. This is a people problem. Okay? Yes, I know teenagers and kids were robbed time of their lives, but we were all robbed times of our lives. We all went through some form of hell, some form of hardship. Some people had it worse than others. I'm not saying I had it worse than you, but this is the point. Those who did go through hell, those who did face adversity, how are they now? Are they more humble, respectful, or are they just more selfish and disrespectful? And sadly, it's the latter. They're saying, well, it's my time now. I lost years of my life. I get that. But that doesn't condone you being an a-hole. That doesn't condone you to be a narcissist and be selfish and rob people of their respect and dignity. But that's what's going on. Nobody cares anymore. I saw my family unit, a unit that was built on generations, a unit that was built on trust and love and loyalty, fall like a house of cards, all because one man, who was the matriarch, who was the head, who was the glue that kept it all together, had tragically died. People said, you need to take over now. As in me, you're the matriarch, you're the head, you're going to do this. But my dad was wired differently. I didn't agree with his life choices. It wasn't my responsibility. He was twice my age. I wanted a different life. I wanted to go down a different path. And thank God I had the boundaries to do so. Because I didn't want to repeat the same mistakes he did. And I didn't have the time or the energy nor the patience to deal with the bullshit of people. And that's the thing. People will now do just about anything and everything to hurt people like you, people like me, and hurt themselves in the process. We can blame, you know what, Big Pharma. We can blame X, Y, and Z. But no, it's almost like a switch has gone off in them, and they are just like a tornado destroying everything in their path. And good, decent people like you and me, rooted in the truth, rooted in reality, trying to live decent lives, try to do the good thing, try to keep tradition and rituals alive, feel empty. When we try to, and I try to, revisit places I went to with my dad or things I did in the past which felt like they had meaning behind it and substance, it feels cold now. It feels empty. It feels broken. And that's because, again, of people. They don't give a shit. Before we'd band together, before we'd make the effort, before there was excitement and thrill. Where's that gone? It's gone with people, with their agendas, with their selfishness and their disrespect. They don't care. They're colder than ever before. And it's all because they had to stay at home for a while. Or because they couldn't go out for a while. We all went through it, mate. We all went through it one way or another. I'm not saying mine was worse than yours, but at the same time, it doesn't give you the right to be a toxic person. I could easily use the victimhood of my dad and circumstances to be an a-hole, to be disrespectful. I can let my grief out onto you and everyone if I want to. But that ain't me. That's not growth. That's not what I want you to be. So if people are worse than ever before, what the hell do we do? How do we survive? The first bitter pill to swallow is realize the world has changed. and people have changed. No amount of nostalgia and sentiment and delusional thinking is ever going to get us to feel the way we did before. We have to feel in a different way. We have to adapt in a different way. We have to live our lives differently and step outside of our comfort zones in order to do so. Now, in regards to friends, if those friends you're holding on to are just so disagreeable, toxic, selfish, and you've seen them get progressively worse, you have to do the honorable thing for both of you and just drift apart and cut ties. Nothing's going to change. It will get worse. It's an anchor you need to drop deep into the ocean. Maybe they're not even necessarily bad people, but you're moving on a different path. Maybe you want to get married. Maybe you want to settle down. Maybe you want to retire. It doesn't matter. You got to let them go. And the even more bitter pill of that is family. I saw betrayal at my worst, on my knees, grieving, crying over the death of my dad. And yet I saw the deception and the lies and the bullshit and the evil and selfishness of people related, blood related to my dad, do unspeakable things. I never thought people would stoop that low, but 2020 opened my bloody eyes. So, parents, brother, sister, your kids, whoever, distance yourself, because they're on a path that I do not condone, and neither should you. Does this make you a bad person? Does this make you evil? No. This makes you honorable, and this makes you save your bloody life. Because here's the key thing here. If someone's on a path of destruction, despair, pain and misery, after everything you've been through up to this point, you are signing your future away, your life, your health, your mental health as a result. And to what benefit? And to what cause? So you keep company? So you play happy families when you hate them? So you have a friend so you don't stay alone at night and have nothing to do but binge Netflix or go on the internet and scroll on your phone? It's not worth it, mate. It's not worth it. And they're not worth it. If people are getting worse, get off the train and be with yourself. Even if you spent a great deal of time alone beforehand, be with yourself, know yourself, learn to love yourself, and then I swear to you, in drips and drabs, and just naturally through the laws of the universe and life, you will gravitate to the right people. And what I did was I cut family off. I gave 2 fingers to the friends that were idiots. And now I live a completely different life. Live in a different area. Have different rituals. Have different timetables. Have a different approach to life. I look different. And as a result, I attracted love that is genuine. Friendship that is smaller but purer. And I don't have that drama and bullshit in my life anymore. And if it's presented to me, I don't get angry. I don't rage. I just say I'm above this and bigger and better. And occasionally you're going to meet strangers. And I clashed with somebody recently who claimed I hit their car when I didn't. These Karens, these idiots are going to come out of the woodwork and remind you of how sad and bitter society is. But let it be sad and bitter. And realize that you went through terrible growing pains and terrible suffering to become a much better person in this world. And screw the world, screw people. Let your people that you let in, and let your world be your haven. It could be as simple as sitting in a garden on a chair without a care in the world. It could be a small apartment. It could be a bedroom. That's your world. Protect it. Like your life depends on it, because it does. And if you want more help understanding the intricacies of people and boundaries and how to stand up for yourself and making sense of something that has always troubled you your whole life, your upbringing, whatever, and no one can get through to you, but let me get through to you. I don't bullshit. I say it as it is. And I help people and I give people the right results because they need to hear the truth. Book a free discovery call with me. The link's in the description and pinned comment below. And if you're a good fit, let's sort this out once and for all. And it doesn't have to be just about that. You can work with me about anything you want. Lastly, yeah, people have changed. And you've changed. But isn't it funny how you have changed for the better? Are you sick and tired of feeling stuck in life or being weighed down by endless struggles? Maybe you're exhausted from being walked all over, or tired of never having boundaries, or not saying no, walking away, or stuck in toxic cycles and situations. Well, imagine breaking free from all of that, feeling powerful and totally in control of your life. When you work with me, there's no BS, no fluff, just real, personal transformation.
I won't lie, his direct no BS approach made me feel uncomfortable at times, but was absolutely necessary to reveal my blind spots that were holding me back to become the best version of myself.
He told me things I didn't want to hear but I needed to hear, and it's helped me find myself again and to move on from it all and to rebuild and to come out stronger.
Now, you've seen my journey on YouTube about the power of walking away from the wrong people, overcoming addiction, handling grief, empowering myself from being rock bottom. But this isn't about me. This is not my story. This is your story. Imagine having a life on your terms, having a healthier, better relationship, being able to overcome your struggles and actually be at peace and taste happiness, maybe for the first time ever in your life.
I was skeptical at first, as he's not the cheapest, but my concerns were immediately put to rest when he presented a step-by-step detailed breakdown of my new life plan for me to follow immediately after the call.
I had a session with SCG. I just think that it was very, very beneficial, and he helped me work through my structure and path moving forward.
Now, other coaches fail when it comes to getting real results because they offer you generic advice that is not catered to you. It's a one-size-fits-all program, and it's a load of BS.
After watching countless videos on YouTube regarding heartbreak, I noticed that they were all similar. Go to the gym, hang around with friends, find a hobby, and all that other BS basically. Yeah, that's great advice, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the advice that I needed. That's when I came across SCG's videos.
But I'm different. I listen to you. I take notes. I ask the deep questions and personalize and cater to your needs to take you from where you are now to where you truly want to be. And it's a lot easier and simpler than you think.
What I appreciate the most is how SCG tailored the session to my specific needs and goals. After questioning and analysing my unique background and story, I feel he over-delivered, proving his genuine passion for his clients.
I totally recommend, if you're reaching out, if you're looking into having somebody who can listen with understanding and help you kind of bring different perspectives to what you're dealing with.
So here's what I want you to do. If you are genuinely serious about change and personal transformation, book a free discovery call right now down below. And also check out the testimonials from real people and real success stories of men and even women who've turned their lives around thanks to me. There are only limited spots available, to take advantage of this now, and it's only for serious people who are serious about change. So let's not delay. Let's not keep you where you are now, stuck in the same cycles, the same routines for another year. Let's work together and break free together and live life finally on your terms.
Truly, thank you, SCG.
I really appreciate you, SCG.
If you're going through something similar, he could help you also.
If you're thinking of coaching with him, try it out for sure. Reach out.
If you're struggling too, especially with heartbreak, or just like I am, or anything else for that matter, then please reach out to SCG. Book your free consultation, and I can assure you, you won't regret it. You can't put a price on your health, especially your mental health.